Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Welcome, Lalita. Hare Krishna, Hare, beautiful Lalita. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, Hare Krishna. I just want to do a quick little uh, talk about some things that I'm realizing today. And, let's see how far it goes. Still didn't get my walk in, but I'll just do this hopefully quickly. But let's see. Yeah, basically, the topic here is why devotees don't become Krishna conscious. Not why many devotees. Let's say it like this. Or it could be most. Let's see. But why many devotees don't become fully Krishna conscious in one lifetime. Why it takes many lifetimes. Okay? And maybe this will cut down the time if you have the adequate information. If you have the right information, then you can act appropriately and get the desired result quickly. So, first of all, what does it mean to be fully Krishna conscious in one lifetime? See, this should be a question with a question, like that. So let's go to a verse here. I put it up there. People can look at it. It's in the description and the title. In the description, actually. And this is yes, 13. Yeah. This is a Veda base, Caitanya Caritamrita Adi Lila, chapter 2, and verse number 12 and 13. So it says, what the Upanishads call as the transcendental impersonal Brahman. Oops, wait a second. Yeah, actually 13 and 14. As with the naked eye, one cannot know the sun except as a glowing substance. Merely by philosophical speculation, one cannot understand Lord Krishna's transcendental varieties. See, transcendental varieties. So that's what the Lord came here. Lord Chaitanya came here to teach this, to teach how to relish what's called transcendental mellows. Another word for that is to relish and taste the transcendental varieties of the spiritual form of God, Krishna, or Lord Chaitanya. Their spiritual form in the form of their name, in the form of their qualities, nature, behavior, things like that, and things related. His devotees, these are all transcendental varieties. See, and so you cannot taste these transcendental varieties if you're not following the footsteps of this verse. And even in our group, some are not understanding this. And therefore they can't get the result that some of the students here are getting. So if you can understand this and you really want this, it doesn't do it really any good just to be envious devotees who can relish transcendental mellows. Better just to know how to do it, how they're doing it. See, when this is identified, then you can follow the same process. They teach this in neurolinguistic programming. If you can model the way that people do things that are successful, you get the same kind of result. See, so you can also apply that in spiritual life. If you model the way the things that certain persons are doing that are getting the result of transcendental mellows and relishing Krishna's spiritual varieties, you can also get. Okay? So it's just more intelligent way to approach the situation. Okay? So, as with the naked eye, one cannot know the sun except as a glowing effulgence. When you look at the sun, it just looks like this. It's like all one, right? One big glow. Okay? But if you were to go into the sun planet, you would see forms there. And you might say, I don't believe that. All I see is this glowing effulgence. See? So that's kind of how it is. Philosophical speculation is like this glowing effulgence of the sun, with all these speculations about what you think is everything, but you cannot understand or taste or relish the transcendental varieties of Krishna or any form of God by speculating. See, this is the problem. The speculation hides the form of the Lord. The form of the Lord is like the book describes. See? Now, why will you think, okay, well, hey, man, that's pretty easy. I got the book. I got the book. I got the book. I don't need, I'm a Ritvik. See, I got Prabhupada's books, right? And I can do it, and everything. And you still see, I mean, like if you're at least from our side, you see those persons are not relishing transcendental varieties. See, it's in the book, okay? But they're not relishing varieties. Why? Oh, Bhagavad Gita 10:10. To those who worship Krishna with loving ecstasy, I give them the understanding. I give them the real knowledge of how to come to me. See? So most persons, even though you have the book, you don't have the awakening of pure love of God. That's why you need Shiksha Guru if you're not at that point. And the problem is people haven't clearly understood that. See, if you have a bona fide spiritual master empowered by Krishna, say in our line is Krishna, not Christ. Christ is part of it, but really our line is Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, the whole line here, okay? Radha, Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, this line. Okay? If you have a real spiritual master, they are worshiping that Lord as an eternal, intimate associate of that Lord eternally. See? And they're worshiping with that loving ecstasy. So therefore they have, again, the right understanding, the right information, the right real knowledge. See? That's in this book. See? They're not speculating. That's why even Prabhupada said, we don't give our opinion, we give Krishna's opinion. See? Now the problem is a lot of people say, well, I am giving Krishna's opinion. When I read this book, then I spout out Krishna's opinion. But you can't, it's not, if your heart is not purified with bhakti, you can't understand Bhagavatam and Gita and all these books. Bhagavatam says the same thing, doesn't it? First canto, second verse, first chapter. Only those who are pure in heart can understand Srimad Bhagavatam. Mm-hmm. Okay. So how do you get a purified heart? Again, you have to worship in loving ecstasy. So most people don't. So what's your alternative? Do you want to become fully Krishna conscious in one life? It's possible. But you got to know the path. And that's why, we're in association with devotees who are following the real path to that and are experiencing the fruit of that. And Krishna is very pleased that he's delivering that fruit. It's like the reward. Not fruit it's a fruit, but it's a transcendental fruit from following the path correctly. And if you have a bona fide guru, they're going to teach you the real path. Like here. But most gurus that I've seen, I haven't seen one guru really teach the real path yet. If they did, I would see the fruit of what's going on here, but we don't. We just have to accept that we're just the most popular sahajas on the internet because we feel stuff in relationship to Krishna, and nobody else seems to. Not much, not to my liking. Okay? So you have to identify, if you want to become fully Krishna conscious in this life, that means you have to taste transcendental mellows, because that's why Lord Chaitanya came here, was to taste these transcendental mellows and teach them to others. And now he's left that in the hands of the real line. See, and now at the real line is we just teach you the truth. I mean, we're not holding back. No, I'm just going to keep it for myself and be like Prabhupada and Bhaktivinoda Bhaktisiddhanta, and I'll cry in my room and laugh like a madman in my room, and you'll never see that. And you won't until you do see that, until you see an example like 550 years ago, which is here now. Person showing you what it is to be, actually, I just have to say it, perfect in Krishna consciousness. That's perfect. But hey, don't get a big Think, hey, he's saying he's been, no. This is the way it is. You get perfect first. Perfect is to taste the mellows. And then in the next moment, you're more perfect and more perfect. It goes on forever. More perfect, more deep, more ecstatic. But you're perfect. You can start. You can start your eternal journey forever. And it just gets better and better and better and better, like this. Okay, that's what we teach you. Go ahead there, Lolita.
Yeah, an important thing is to be cleansed by the word that is spoken to you as well. Not only worship in ecstasy, but to be cleansed, to be cleaned.
Cleansed. Yes, yes. That's a good point. Yeah, and Lord Chaitanya showed that. If you look at his journey and go again in the Madhya Lila, his journey to South India. And his method of preaching was simply he'd go into a village and do what we do. Chant, just like we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's kind of like drumming up business. But not material, it's spiritual business. The spiritual business of a devotee is to preach Krishna consciousness in the world to liberate the souls. So you go in there, and a lot of people say, no, he never showed, come on, man. People don't know. They don't know Lord Chaitanya. They don't see these verses in the books because they're blind by their speculations and their heart's not purified. He would go into a village and chant in ecstasy, laughing, dancing, laughing, crying, just showing how, this is what I do. This is how I worship my Lord. And people would think, oh God, that looks really beautiful. What do we need to do that? How do we do this? So they were more open back then. They weren't more open in Navadweep. Actually, had to leave there to preach because they were so close-minded, just like these Vaishnavas now, very close-minded. You notice he goes to South India just like we're going other places, and new people just come out of the blue that are not conditioned by all this previous preaching for very neophytes and very hard. Oh no, love, no, hard, you're mean, that kind of stuff. See, so anyway, they weren't so like that, and so he would preach this book, Caitanya Caritamrita principles. He just as it is, same principles we're preaching here, as it is. Okay? And when they abandoned, it says, right, you can read the verses, it says they abandoned their opinions. See, their opinions don't work. Just like you, if you're honest here, your opinions don't work if you're miserable. See, and not ecstatic like Lolita and Johan or others here, Govinda, whoever it is that's chanting and abandoning their opinion and listening to the opinion here, because you think, oh, that's just your opinion. Well, not really. This is Krishna's opinion. Well, how can you say that? Well, because I'm following in alignment with the verses. The path. I'm following the real path to those who worship Krishna with loving ecstasy. I mean, you could see that this thing that seems so weird here, no, because nobody's doing it practically, right? Except in our group. No, Vaishnava, thousands of nobody's worshiping in this ecstatic joy beyond what anybody's seen. They think it's wrong. It's not wrong. It's just different. It's just unique. It's extraordinary. It's fantastic. It's the most crazy thing in the world. Though, gradually people will come to see that. Yeah. So they abandon their opinions and they listen to these opinions in the book from an ecstatic devotee. See, Lord Chaitanya came as a devotee to preach. This is how you do it. You got to meet an ecstatic devotee and you got to hear their opinion, which is actually the real opinion of the real parampara to liberate you. See, and so that you can begin to taste these transcendental varieties in the book. See, so I had a conversation with a devotee this morning. I just said, okay, well, what is it? Why don't do you have full faith in what we're doing? And he said, well, when he's in a normal mood, no, basically, because he says, well, my idea is that you can be a Ritvik and you can go to a living go. Everybody's doing the path, and they can, what is your thing so great when there's other things are going on? And so there you go. See, blinded by speculation. See, they're blinded. That speculation is not in the book. I mean, it doesn't say that's the way you get it. You don't go to a Ritvik to get this. You don't go to a living dead guru to get it. To me, dead means you don't have the transcendental potency. That's, to me, mode of goodness and being a good guy and a good guru and a nice guy, sweet guy, humble guy, even according to mode of goodness, is not enough. It's not. It's not going to get you there. So his idea, see, this is the speculate blind, see blind. Then they can't see what's going on here. They wonder, well, why are that person ecstatic like this? You know, and why? Well, you see, you're an outsider because that person, say like Lalita and Johan, they're accepting this opinion, see, that's coming from their guru. They say, this person is my guru. I'm listening to their opinion, and I'm getting great happiness in this. I don't want to speculate on it. I don't want to have a different, for some reason or other, you like what you hear. Why do you like what you hear from me? What is it that you like? Why do you like?
I like the depth of the conclusive truth because my heart gets more and more open. My heart, Krishna inside of me responds on that. He likes to hear that. And
See, that's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
why is this part better? Because here it's really working, because it's a very active part, not a passive part. Although we seem to be very passive, not working, but Krishna is more active here than there.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, now that's why you see you have to follow in the footsteps of the ones that are more advanced devotees because see, she said her heart. See, her heart. A lot of devotees are not aware of that yet. They're still in their head. They're trying to figure out in their head. Yeah, why, because their heart is not they're not in touch with it. Like when they hear a word, how does it feel in your heart? A lot of people are jerked around, like in the world, by politicians. They speak to their minds and just control their minds. See, so a devotee speaks to the hearts of people because these scriptures, if they're not speculating on, speak to your heart. See, because Krishna's in there. He's in there listening, and but he, but when there's all this mental speculation of those persons who don't follow that path. They just no, I don't know. I have my own ideas, and yeah, I don't quite know I don't know where you guys are at, but maybe it's not the right good place. Who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know because I still holding on to my ideas. So they're not in touch. It's not hitting their hearts. See, that's many persons are like that. Most people, like Vaishnavism, is more like a religion because they're listening. First of all, their gurus are in their heads. Also, they're not here yet. They also Prabhupada didn't work with them on that level. If you see you can see in his preaching, he kind of like gives the general ideas often. You have to kind of dig in there and see where there's not this like I'm dealing with a bunch of neophytes who can't understand these things. You know, so a lot of people take all that neophyte stuff and bring it forward because they're still there and not ready to listen. Um, you have to find a devotee that's relishing transcendental mellows. There's no other way. And then they teach you how to, because they could see in the book, the instruction book. See, and then if you can't quite get it like that, you go. Luckily, we have a sangha of advanced devotees who get it like that, who are in touch with their heart. They're cleansed enough. So a lot of people are going through the cleansing to get to that point. If they even get there, they may not. They could stay their whole lives in their heads and not understand. This just depends. But the bottom line is you cannot understand the transcendental varieties of Krishna by speculation, and that's why the gurus and their followers are still blinded by their speculations. And how do we know? Well, you don't have the symptoms that people see here. Okay? See, you don't have the symptoms that you see in this Sangha of devotees who are getting past that. See, and are manifesting the Lord's real teaching here in the world. See? That's why unless people come here, remember Lord Chaitanya said, unless people accept me, they will be destroyed. See, accepting Lord Chaitanya means accepting his word and accepting his ecstasy. Accepting he is an experienced devotee to learn from, not your ideas that don't work. So we have people in our Sangha, practically, you could see, if you can get this, you understand your ideas don't work, you're still unhappy, and you don't know what's going on in the inner circle here simply because of speculation. And when you give that up and just hear from, like, attentively from the bona fide spiritual master, see chapter 1, see this chapter 2. Chapter 1 teaches all about that, and you give, like, you worship that in that way. Yeah, and so that's why we don't see the perfection of Krishna consciousness, which is basically to be able to come to the point of relishing transcendental mellows. And so many are doing that here. It's amazing. I mean, this is miracle stuff. So this will get more and more clear as we go on, and will help the devotees here that are maybe struggling a little bit because of faith in speculations, faith in their own opinions. Like if you say, well, there's so many paths and everybody, well, that's fine in speculation, but in truth, there's this path if you want to taste transcendental mellows in this life. Yeah, go ahead there, Lalita.
I advise non-believers to look at videos of myself from 4 years ago or 5 years ago and videos of now. This how this presence of the Lord is more clear, and how I am more conscious of his presence. How I'm really living with Krishna now.
Yeah, how it cleared things out, cleared things out. This goes for everybody, all new people here, because that's basically how deep they want to go with it. I mean, if you want to just hang out with the devotees and chant, a little bit and all that's fine. It's sort of fine. It depends. If I'm with persons here that we're really deep in this, it may be a disturbance, because you're not on board yet. You're not understanding how to enter into this. And you might have to be kept on the outside a little bit, like Lord kept his doors for the intimate kirtan with those who were faithful and those who understood, those who heard from him. And otherwise it can be a disturbance. Even like, that was it, Srivasa's mother-in-law wasn't allowed in because she didn't have the right mood and temperament. That mood and temperament shows up in your ideas. Like if you don't, I'm really here, but I'm not really here with you because I have my own, See, we're all here. You're trusting that I'm speaking the truth. And it's not blind trust. I mean, that's why I keep saying you check it out, check with your heart, check with the scriptures, go deep into that, and with Krishna in your heart, and then you come to the conclusion, oh yeah, this is great. I can surrender to this idea. That's basically like it is, surrendering to the ideas being preached to you. But if I'm preaching and you're going, I don't agree with that. We got some still after 5 years still doing that. Believe it, yeah. But that's simply they don't understand this point. But they won't be empowered to the extent, see, like you and River and Govinda and others, they're being empowered to stand up and you're empowered to do that. It's like you want to do that, so you get the desire of God working through you. He wants to do that. He wants to use you to do that. Yeah. Go ahead there, Govinda.
Yeah, I was so inspired in your earlier class. I didn't see the whole class, but I just had this overwhelming desire to publish this book, this idea for a book I've had for a long time.
Yeah.
This will get the varieties, this will get the disses, this will get the custards. Higher Taste Part 2, Charity Guru Haridas. A very simple book. but it's referencing all the dash. Well, I can't say all because there's so many, but those darshans of Garanga in the river, the one of you running your hands across the book, and Krishna speaking, and some of the witness testimonies from Amy and Fanny, and very simple, and a few notes that I've written. I'm going to distribute these to our distributors around England. Anybody who wants to be a distributor, you can come on board. We've got Jiddu in Manchester. We've got Tommy here in Coventry. They don't know this yet, but I've lined them up. And we've got Dean up in Leicester. And these are because I'm meeting so many nice people who are coming out of whatever it might be, alcoholism, or just fed up with the material world. It doesn't have to be alcoholism. And they're nice people that I've met in these parts of the country. And these books will help them so much. And people can say what they want, but Caitanya Mahaprabhu is appearing to devotees here. And unfortunately, some of these devotees have gone away. And it's like what you're sharing, Gurhari. If you go away from this Sangha, you're going away from Caitanya. You'll be destroyed. It's like that.
Well, you can go away. Some people, they get some, and they can ride on that a long time because Krishna is very merciful. Just by coming to a devotee, just by being around them for a while and maybe even having faith for a while, the Lord is very, he'll let you ride it out your whole life maybe and be okay. I mean, I see that too. It's just the Lord's really, really merciful. Yeah, but you could see like in Govinda, he's got this, he's very enthusiastic to serve. This is Krishna's mercy. This is what you get. You get empowered to do. You can't do this on your own. You wouldn't be able to do that. It's just a natural joy of God and serving the Lord and the Lord's devotees' mission on this world. This is, that means it shows you're in the real vine. You got a true vine going. Not serving because of money or anything. He's serving because the joy of serving God and the Vaishnavas and delivering others. So it's beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much, Govinda, for being an example of the mercy, And so others, I mean, it's just singling out one person. Yeah, let's use Mayavadi as an example. Thank you very much for your preaching, Mayavadi, here. So you make my point. There is only one God, true, and different ways to approach him, true. Except if you want to relish transcendental mellows, you got to go this way. It's always the same path. You even to get the Holy Spirit, those devotees had to hear from Jesus for 3 years what he said and abandon their opinions to get the Holy Spirit. And then when they preached the words they heard from their guru as best they can understand or remember them. See? And then that's why other people get it. But so you're in this context, what you say is, yeah, it's true. There is only one God and different ways to approach him. Yeah, and there are different results too. If you go to, there's only one God there, you approach God through the Mayavadi speculative path and you get a result. You go to maybe Brahman. You go to these gurus here in ISKCON, if they haven't relished, if they haven't tasted the mellows of devotion, then they cannot preach that to you. And therefore you'll get a different result by going to them. So, and people, they're fine with it. They don't know that Krishna conscious movement is all about ultimately going to the point of tasting the transcendental varieties of the name, the form, the pastimes, the qualities of Krishna. They don't know that. Can you imagine? 40 years, they don't know what they can understand in 2 sentences just now if they heard here with faith and attention. But they're going 40 years and never hearing that from Acharya Dev. See, it's not enough to have a big title and a big following. You have to have a purified heart by worshiping the Lord with loving ecstasy, and then you teach people the real path, the clear path as it is. And then they go straight in, the narrow gate. That's the narrow gate, the word of the devotee.
You need to be humbled by the word of the devotee.
Yeah. Yeah, and so they may go their whole lives, and they probably will, and they'll die Guru Devs, but they're not really Guru Devs. And they'll go before Prabhupada and said, okay, I want to go in the kingdom, you see, on your behalf. And see what Jesus said, you'll see the same. It's always the same. You see, Prabhupada, I preached on your behalf. I preached your word. Well, Prabhupada will say, well, it's not my word, really. You claim to be able to deliver your disciples. That's not true. You're not the real guru. Why didn't you listen to the one I sent? Oh, we didn't believe. We thought Gaur Das was a sahaja because he cried for Krishna, and that we know that's not supposed to do that publicly, and you said, and we believed, and we didn't listen. So I'm sorry, Prabhupada said, I don't know you really. You don't know me. I don't, I don't recognize that. See, only the Father knows the Son knows the Father. Okay? And the Son can reveal the Father to whom he chooses. Well, Prabhupada didn't reveal the Father fully. I mean, this is getting things going. Now you need Shiksha if you want to go on and meet the real Prabhupada. I mean, the real Prabhupada's one ecstatic dude. You come here, you'll see what he was doing in his private room. If not, well, you still don't know Prabhupada. He'll say, well, I don't know you, really. You don't really know me. So go back into the world and, try again. You know? Because you can't, if you're not ecstatic, how are you going to enter the kingdom of God where there's all these ecstatic devotees? And here you're seeing what's in the kingdom of God right here before your eyes. And I ain't lying. I'm not exaggerating. This is what they do. This is how they worship God. This is the kingdom of God coming to the world. And you say you don't like this and you hate what we do and you think you're going to go where they're at, we're here to prepare you for this. That's why you got to get purified. I don't guru or decide, doesn't matter. You're both blind. According to this understanding and preaching that this reality, this highest truth, you're blind. Until you lovingly, ecstatically worship Krishna, you're blind. And if you are not blind, you'll say, yep, what he's saying is true. But you don't say that because you're blind. And I'm not going to, take my word back. Why would I? Because it's true and yours isn't. You're the result. Hey, prove to us, right? Lolita said this. Prove to us you've got the mercy of Krishna. Let's see some closeness with God. We know the symptoms. We studied the books, right? They're right there in the book, chapter 23. Devotees who have prema, they laugh, they cry, they choke up when they chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Where's your tears? Where's your laughter? Where's your relishing mellows to see the symptoms of that? There's transformations in the body. Where are those transformations? Oh yeah, we have them, but we don't show because too confidential. See, again. See, you don't then you keep everybody, you're in the dark yourself and you try to keep others in the dark by showing you're an authority, but you're not an authority. See, you cannot understand transcendental varieties by speculation. And I've seen this amongst gurus. They try to do this in their mind speculations, and it's so high to achieve what Lord Chaitanya has gotten that they try to do it by their own speculations and can't do it in Vaishnavism. I see that in the Narayan Raj group. All up there, oh yeah, this is Radhe, 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 Radhe. See, and they hate this kind of preaching. See, they hate this ecstasy. They're jealous of it and all these things. And you mean to tell me that is purebhakti.com? No, I'm looking symptoms, man. What if you have this ecstatic devotion, you will love this kind of ecstasy because we love it. What? I'm going to believe your opinion? Doesn't your? I spent 1.5 years there. I wasn't happy at all. I mean, this to me is happiness, ecstatically worshiping the Lord. That wasn't around. So why should, that's why, oh, Gore, I don't agree with your opinion. See, this is what people do. Gore, I don't agree with your opinion. Narayan Raj was great. What we're doing is the greatest thing and all this. And I look at your face and I say, well, okay, but you ain't got what I got because it shows all over your face. You don't look like my disciples look. None. Your disciples or your, guru don't look like them. You could see even in Narayan Raj's pictures, different. It doesn't look like our line looks. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. I always saw that. And that shows you how high this is that Lord Chaitanya brought. That's why he has to send somebody. And you don't have to be anything smart. You see how we're teaching the real way? Look at me. I ain't anything special, but the mercy of the Lord is here. And the mercy of the Lord is here for those who believe in the path being spoken here. See, the path, I'm preaching this book as the Lord reveals it to me. Look at the result. This is God saying, hey, see, Gohari is the authority here because look at the result. I'm giving. That's the way Jesus preached. He says, oh, you don't believe my word? I say the same thing. Oh, you don't believe my word? How about the result on those persons who do believe this word? How about look at the result of Lalita and Govinda and Johan and Janakis and others here and Amy's and Fanny's and Cole's? How about that result? Are they inspired to the point of their things, fruits coming, from that? They're standing up for the truth, preaching the truth. Hey, is this a true vine when you see those symptoms here? Is that a true vine in the Charya Devs and all these other ISKCON gurus? Where's the line? Where are the symptoms of the real line? Where are the tears? Where the ecstasy? Where's the practical preaching of what Lord Chaitanya brought? I just see, no, let's preach more ceremonies and more rituals and more, the preliminary deity worship, and the big festivals and the big pomps. It's like going to the Vatican or something.
And that verse, Chaitanya works through a low-class person, a Sudra, and in the biblical lineage, a carpenter. We see that in full effect here. Look at Sham, active alcoholic, died in active alcoholism, left the body in active alcoholism, but she started the books. Look at the people who are getting to distribute books.
Yeah.
Dear Tommy, he's a diamond, he's a gem. He's so
Yeah.
behind this sang. He's not even out of bed yet. He's a well-wisher. He's got stuff going on, just like Jiddu in Manchester. But these devotees are sincere. Could I get one of the ISKCON gurus to distribute our books where Prema Bhakti is awakening, where Chaitanya's darshans are happening? No.
Well, that's the way it works. It's always been like that. This is the great mercy of the Lord. When you're in the real line, people, whoever takes shelter of the real line through the real devotees, and you get the real Lord Chaitanya, the real conceptions and everything, is most glorified. Just like that verse. I love that verse. Come on, people. Trump ain't going to glorify you. Biden ain't going to glorify you by following them, believing in them. You're not going to be glorified by following Jaipatakas and Radhanas. You're going to be a peon until you die. Why? Because they're not really Krishna conscious. They don't have love of Krishna. Therefore, you will not get the glorification that verse says. Those who take shelter of the Lord are most glorified. They're not glorified in the eyes of God. Proved it. If they were most glorified, the Lord is glorifying by showering bhakti on you. You could see Lalita and Govinda, they're glorified. See, glory in there. They're a glory person, full of glory, for God's sakes. Do I have to scream it out again? See, glorified. The Lord glorifies. He gives you this shining. You become not that the movie, the Shining. See, this is the glorification of the Lord, the bhakti, most glorified. See, that's to be able to present bhakti in the world is glorious. And not to be able to it is inglorious. It's not glorious yet. You're a pretender.
The shortcut is glorious, Guru Maharaj. Why would we stay unhappy and with a sour face follow all those other paths that lead to the Lord if we can take the happy shortcut with a lot
Well,
of
that's for
vessels?
Mayavadi. She can follow that Mayavadi path. All paths lead. You go out there and be a teacher there. See, that's the thing. You want your ideas to be preached and taught. All right, you go. You're a teacher, and she's a teacher, of course. Oh, I should have known. Yeah. So anyway, you'll stay on the outside, and because you're not following the way to go to inside yet, but that's all right. Let's see what happens. Maybe this word will melt the ice. Who
Yeah,
knows?
if you become humble by this word, maybe it will work.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't abandon your own opinions that don't work very well, I mean, maybe she still has faith in her opinions to give her a happy life. I don't know. Is she happy? You have seen her? No? Yes?
Ask her. I don't know.
Are you happy, Maivati? I mean, really happy. I mean, are you really like you found it and you're on your path, man, and you're inspired, man, and you're passionate about what you do, and life is beautiful and wonderful. Is that you?
She has a
So
guru she can't even glorify. She has one of these gurus, I think is probably Jayapataka or Radhanath, but can't mention their name and can't glorify. Always keep
really?
secret the name of their guru.
Oh, ah,
She writes an answer.
yeah. Okay, let's see. So ISKCON chant. Okay, where are they? Okay, let me go. Oh boy, so many things here. Okay, Mayavai says, I have tried my best to welcome you in my soul, but it is too much jealousy, I hear. Thanks, you do not know me. Too much jealousy. Well, I don't know. Did you see any symptoms of jealousy or just
No, we
trying
are
to?
not jealous on anything.
So
What is
actually,
that to be jealous of?
if that comes from a person's mouth, and it's not here or in somebody, we're not vibrating, it's actually coming out of that person. I had to start looking like that because people started projecting all kinds of stuff on me because of this energy, and I had to sort it out and say, am I actually feeling this? And because they say, yeah, you're jealous, yes, and I said, wait a second, I'm not vibrating. What's going on here? So, but that's what's going, people are getting it out. They project, and you know what does it? The truth, just telling the person the truth. And going against their opinion. See, I'm just laying this opinion on her opinion, right? She's preaching hers, I'm preaching mine, and what pops out? Oh, you're a jealous person. You can't see me. You see, now that I think about it, that's false ego. See, the false ego is like, oh, you're just jealous of me, because I have a good opinion. You're not accepting me. You're right. I don't accept that opinion. I'm sorry, man. Yes, I'm happy here, but I want more. That's good. Yeah, yeah.
I said, yes, you are, meaning you're jealous. I'm rich with love I have. Yes,
Yes,
you
you
are.
are. Yeah, yeah. Well, they really identify with that still, but that's part of getting it out. Jealous? Are you kidding? I'm too. How can I be? I'm the my. Okay, I got
For who
it.
can
No,
you
no,
be jealous, Guru Maharaj?
I am the richest man in the world, man. To me, the richest to be able to chant Hare Krishna mantra in ecstasy. I count my blessing. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, man. Gee whiz. How can I? I mean, I wish I had something to be jealous of somewhere. I'm not even jealous of Bill Gates with all. To me, I'd rather have this than all those billions, just like all of us, right? Once all my disciples that get this know what I'm talking about. I ask them, what would you run a billions of bill or to trade that over? Nobody would. So, you know, you haven't convinced any of us that Gohar is jealous of you, you know. But that's that competition spirit. It's inside. Go ahead there, Govinda.
Yeah, you're a teacher, Mayavati. We're playing truancy. You're truant in fluent. You're fluency in truancy. No, we're fluency in truancy. We're fluent in truancy when you're
Yeah.
teaching. It's not worth listening to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's just, you know, they have it's part of bonding. You know, we're bonding here. It
It's
takes
the
a
best
while.
one. I do not mean mundane jealousy. No, Guru Maharaj would be transcendentally jealous on who?
Oh, I'm transcendently jealous of you. Oh, now that's an
Well,
interesting.
you're not showing the path, Mayavati. You can't
Oh, I
understand.
see. I see. What you have is better than me. Oh, I see. Oh, it's a competition. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, all right. All right. All right.
You have this guru you can't even glorify. You don't even know Adi Lila chapter 1. Who is this guru, this mysterious Radhnath or Jayapataka that you can't glorify? Mayavati, stand up for your guru, Radhnath or Jayapataka. How must they
Oh,
feel when you can't
I think
glorify
it's
them?
somebody else. It's somebody else. Another.
Well, stand up for them, whoever they are. Stand up for your guru. Who are
Stand up.
they?
Yes, Krishna is jealous too. Yeah. You know he's jealous. Yeah, he is. It's true, but he's jealous of Radharani. That's why he came as Lord Chaitanya. He said, "Boy, she's enjoying better than me. What is she? She knows me more than I know myself. Why? Because of the strength of her love. Oh man!" And then Lord Chaitanya was born of that. Yeah. Actually, jealousy is a sign of greed. If it's like, well, you know, if you're like, boy, I would like to be like that, you know, type thing. That's good, you know. But maybe you think it's kind of like turned around that I should be. I'm sorry, I can't. I mean, I'm not jealous of you. I don't see something. I mean, if I saw something more than what I've got, I would maybe have some jealous. Like, oh, I wish I like. I'm a little bit jealous of. I don't know if it's jealous. It's like, hey, I want the mercy of Lalita. I like that way she chants, man. I think it's fantastic. This is special mercy, Krishna. And Johan also, boy, they're so ecstatic. Yeah, I mean, yes, I want their blessing, you know, I want their, you know, think of me when you're in Vrindavan or something type thing.
That is from me.
No, not that. Okay, all right. I'm just getting to understand Mayavati. It's not easy. She's a very complex woman. I I think your Guru Dave knows me much more. Maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe we're just joking around here. Let's see how it turns out. Hey, Benny Bianco. Hey, thank you for coming there, Benny. Let's see where else. Oh, um, so, merely by philosophical speculation, one cannot understand the Lord Krishna's transcendental varieties. See, so you got to hear from the devotees who relish transcendental varieties. See, by this testimony, and what are we talking about? These verses. They, I think this is good information. See, the verses have always been here, but the devotees can't activate them. See, and they stay in speculation because they can't see that and they can't preach it to others. See, the Lord shows me, yeah, of course, I can't. I just like your word. You know, like Lalita was saying, you could take one sentence and preach on that all night sometimes. That's how powerful and how all encompassing these words are. Very deep, and you just go deeper and deeper. It's very satisfying, you know, to hear the truth about Krishna because it's so important. So the whole world is in the Maya, you know, all the way into the heavens and hells, and all by speculations. That's why, what did Jesus say? The truth will set you free. See? The truth, but not the speculation on it. You can see what the speculation does when you take the words of say, the Bible and the prophets and Jesus. What speculation does, you get a Vatican. See, that's why they can't deliver anybody. That Pope can't deliver anybody. He's a speculator. He doesn't understand the words of Jesus. If he did, he'd prove it. Nobody can. You know. So, but those who do, like maybe from their past life, or they heard from a real preacher where they got the Holy Spirit, then they look at the Word of God and then they can relish it. Even in the Bible, it's very relishable, these words. I love anything to do with this. That is the opulence. That's wealth. Bill Gates can't do that. Matter of fact, I put well, I took it off, but there's a guy with the World Economic Forum. He's the protege of Carl Schwab. This guy going to take. He's worse than Carl Schwab. This guy, young guy, Israeli guy, man. Is he an atheist? He's right out there, but he's a classic textbook Bhagavad Gita atheist. Man. Hates God and thinks he's so intelligent. Oh, we don't believe any God. We're gods, and we're going to go inside you. I mean, I couldn't believe the guy was preaching like this. Is the leaderships, and you maskers. That's going to be your leaders, man. You know, they're like that. And Bill, Biden's becoming like, he gave a speech. Let's get these Republicans are insurrected, put them in camps. Basically, he didn't say it, but basically inferred all this stuff. Very authoritative, like wanting to be God here in the world. See, the demigods generally give respect to God. That's why they're good. Right? Still not good enough not for the kind of preaching we're doing, but they don't like outright lies like these demons are doing now. Oh my God, are they lying, man? But truth is coming out. These guys, the good people, they're presenting nice cases now, and a lot of people are starting to. So there's some kind of thing happening. It's like levels going on, many levels. And people coming out of being submerged in darkness. So let's see where it all goes. Who knows? The senior senile. These guys are getting more and more ridiculous and ludicrous. I mean, it's like unbelievable. It's like a going to a movie, man, watching some sadistic movie. Okay. See, let me describe the meaning of the third verse. This is verse 4. It's just another verse. I mean, come on, man. Where you can live on this, man. If you have to fast, man, you can live on this stuff, man. This is energy. This is motivation. This is purification. This is energy. This is life. This is real knowledge. This is all from not speculating, just by taking the verses as they are. This is ecstatic. Let me describe the meaning of the third verse. It is an auspicious vibration. Okay? Auspicious vibration that describes the absolute truth. Can you imagine how auspicious the vibration is that describes the absolute truth absolutely as it is? You don't need to speculate and there's a very little pleasure in speculation. There's got to be something there. It's a reflection of the pleasure of as it is. Taking these verses, these words as it are, just describe it. That's God stuff, man. That's God level. That's Vaikuntha and beyond level in the spiritual planets being done. See, that's why you can't do that holding your own opinion, which is proof. If you're one miserable wretch, some depressed person, why hold on to an opinion that's keeping you there? Doesn't even make sense. Shouldn't make sense to you. I see those who do speculate, and what their talks about Krishna are full of speculation. Even here in our sangha, certain persons speculate, and therefore, when they give you a conclusion, it's not right. It's not clean. It's not clear. It's not ecstatic. It doesn't make you ecstatic.
Yeah, you feel the Lord is running away.
Yeah, yeah. That's that pastime with Swarb Damodar. The Lord didn't want. It got to a point he didn't want to hear all these speculations from. He had devoted. These are people like they're the people in ISKCON and Gaudiya Gaudiya. They dedicate their lives to Krishna, right? But they still speculate. They can't relish transcendental varieties in these mellows. So they'd come to Lord Chaitanya directly, and they want to give their verses, and the Lord would be unhappy. It's like, Swarb Damodar, I appoint you. You listen to the verses first, correct them, and then teach them, and then present them to me. See, that's kind of what we do here. And so, but some people here, we're not going to change. We like our own speculations. We disagree. We have another opinion. See, that's where it splits. Chapter 12, Adi Lila. Buy the book here. See, by the book, there were at first there was one opinion, then it split into two. The real followers got the real mercy of Lord Chaitanya, which is these mellows and tasting, right? Real followers. The others speculated. The others developed their own opinions. See, and were separated. Naturally, they separated because of their own opinions, and they scattered. In other words, they got not enough energy. They got no energy. It's the devotees who have the energy. Their divine force. They propagate this. Proof that this is not sahaja is we're propagating ecstatic devotion, man. This is impossible generally. You have to be impossible has to be made possible by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and the line. Otherwise, it's not possible to do what we're doing. Impossible. And proof is all of these gurus, all you thousands of gurus out there in ISKCON, all you Gaudiya Media and Gaudiya, you can't do the impossible. It is impossible to do this. But it can be made possible by that miracle God, if he's really with you.
It's a tool that the Lord gave you to preach.
Yeah. No, yeah. He told my second disciple, he's sitting there in the Kandamba tree, she's seeing him, and he says, nonchalantly, "Oh yeah, because of your guru, you're seeing getting my darshan. That's a big thing." She's only there a week or two or something. It's a small amount of time. She didn't know anything about Krishna. And many people here have gotten things like that.
Yeah, that's what I've been writing in these books, just to show people in very simple form that is a generic thing that's happening to many, many people here. Maria, Sin, Chaitanya, and so many devotees. That's happening over and over and over and over again. You want to come and get it, or do you want to hold on to your own opinions, like what Guru Hari is sharing from? I think it's two branches of the Caitanya Caritamrita tree. One split was the false, the speculators, the Balarams, the Karunas, the Mayavatis. Got to do what you've got to do, but you're not the real path. And we ain't full. We've got nothing to be jealous of you. I've only got love for you. You're adding to the pastimes. I don't feel any jealousy. What have you got? What have you got? Come
Yeah, it's less intelligent to keep on to something that doesn't bring you this result. And I say that all the way across the board. It's less intelligent, and that's why I use these examples. It really makes it clear and get people stop getting triggered. Eventually, they'll stop getting triggered because I'm using gurus and personally doing it. But you got to use this is a personal philosophy. Everybody is personally following it in some way, either not following or following, and there's lessons in all of it. See? So if if you're following this way, you get this result. If you're not following it, you get that. So that's why you see the ones like Mayavadi or Karuna. or some others in our sangha. I think who else has a different opinion? Does anybody know anybody has a different
Balaram.
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 Balaram. Anybody else in our sangha that has a different opinion than what Gaur Das is preaching?
Really? Not in our Sangha.
No? Okay. All right. So good. Not too many. That's pretty good, huh? Yeah. Yeah. And so people just have to analyze, are you getting this result? Prema bhakti. And I haven't seen, really. Oh yeah, Janardhan has a nice, see, he's accepting this opinion. See, when you accept the opinion, then you can relish the mellows. That's how you preach. You preach by you're following the real path, and you're getting the result. See, you follow the path on the spiritual master. Anyway, whoever comes to that point, you're setting a role model for the path. And people will be able to come through the narrow gate of how you present it by your own experience. You cannot teach this without practicing yourself. Without practicing being a real disciple, you cannot teach this. You cannot, because you got to show that, because most people need to get purified to come to the point where you're at. They have to do it the way you did it. You can't cut corners in that way.
Yeah,
You can't
Mayavata says, oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can't take some kind of drug to do it. It's like cutting corners, trying to climb into the kingdom some other way. No, you got to go through the narrow gate by the examples here. Oh, backstage. Okay, there we go. Hey, River, welcome. What do you got to say? Give us a word.
I was talking to Janardhan in his class today. Well, I wasn't talking to him. He actually said it. He says that Karuna has a form of ecstasy. And I really want to know what that means, because it's quite confusing. Yes, he has ecstasy. Janardhan has ecstasy. I see that. There's no doubt with that. But he says this about Karuna. I kind of understand what he says in a way, but
Yeah.
I'd really like you to make it clear, Maharaj. Really like you
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
that clear.
So Janardhan, he's doing great. He's getting ecstasy. He's following nicely, but he's not finished. You look at Lilita, what she went through. Look at a lot of devotees here, what they go through to get the point. He's still going the point. He comes from the Mayavadi background, more or less. It has that kind of background. So that it's still he kind of maybe bleeding in there and seeing that as ecstasy, but it's not like this. And as he gets purified, he'll see what we're talking about. Because otherwise, you say, "Oh yeah, he's got ecstasy," and then the person thinks, "Yeah, I got ecstasy," but it's not really. It's speculation. I mean, you can get a kind of a happiness from speculation. You can get Brahman. I mean, you can get to the point of Brahman by following speculations. But that you don't get in this transcendental variety. That's why you see Karuna can't quite get what we're doing. See, you got to come in the door for that. You got to give up your opinion. You can't say, well, he's basically saying what Mayavadi's saying. Well, God, there's many paths for God and all of that. And what is your thing is so, see, he's understanding, and he's preaching even like her, like something speculative. See, what's the difference in this preaching? Well, you want this, you got to come in this way. You got to abandon your opinions that there are many paths to God, yes, but you got to see that each duration takes longer, different time frames. This you can get the result in this life, like some have gotten, but you can't say I'm going to follow the path of Tony Robbins and get this result of transcendental mellows in this life. If I follow Tony Robbins' path, I'm not going to come to this conclusion. I'm not going to come to this emotional experience of God. I will not come to this understanding, because that's another path. Maybe in some other lifetime, when I go from that one to another one and to that one, and then to this universal way of doing it, yeah. So, in other words, and also, I'm not going to, if you want to put that on a Ritvik, like he's saying, well, a Ritvik is going to get there. Okay, but how long? If the Ritvik follows their Ritvik path and their speculations on the real philosophy, they will not get this. They will die without it. Okay? Same thing if you follow these living dead gurus. If they are not worshiping the Lord according to transcendental mellows and that taste of spiritual varieties that the Lord Chaitanya brought, them and their disciples will die without it and take another birth to get it. Or maybe they just want liberation. Maybe they just chant Hare Krishna just to feel liberated, and they might just get liberation. Okay. But they won't taste spiritual varieties unless they follow the path taught by the book. That's the reason why the book is here, is to teach the path to follow, so that you can get this result.
Yeah, Maharaj, that's absolutely true, and that's how it's transformed me by going through this way, Lalita, Govinda, Johan. It has happened. Just a couple of things now. If Krishna is listening, he will whatever's going off with him. He will take this as Maharaj is using me as a preaching thing.
Well,
That just because you're giving him some attention, it fuels him. The other thing is,
well, it should fuel him to try to understand what I'm talking about. But if he doesn't, he's still he's got a less intelligent approach. See, this is for if the Lord gives you sufficient intelligence, he may have some, things going on, emotional issues and everything blocking. He just can't settle down to really listen and think about the whole thing. Anyway, everybody's got their thing, but still, yeah, go ahead there, River.
He's been triggered. I've seen a side of Karuna that I haven't seen before. Today. Yeah.
Today, huh?
And I said, I've seen something, I've never seen that in you before. I kind of had an idea, but I didn't see that. And he's very, very agitated, very, very touchy. He was.
That's good.
Yeah, these things are good and they're coming up. I can see him clearer. Yeah. And I know, like Mahabharata is just saying he is okay. We're not saying that Karuna is not okay. He's just in a place that is not helping himself. It's not helping him. It's not helping the path, because he cannot glorify you. He glorifies you in a way that's actually, it doesn't actually nobody watches him. Nobody's there because he's glorifying you in this mood, but nobody's watching him. Nobody's coming. And what he really needs to do is come here, receive go through the purification, receive the mercy, keep receiving the mercy, keep receiving the deep understanding that the Lord is giving us. And then the little bit of whatever glorification he does is going to work because he has that ecstasy, he has that vibration in him.
Well, it's not. But it's not. It's not the vibration. No.
That's what I'm saying. It's not the vibration. He doesn't have that vibration, Maharaj.
He doesn't have this ecstasy either. Yeah.
No, and he doesn't have ecstasy. So his preaching is not really doing much.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not doing really anything in that way. You got to understand, it's not getting the desired result because he's not an example of it yet. Okay. It's still like plowing, still plowing. So, and that's why the understanding won't be deep. It'll be hypocritical. See, it's like one part of him really doesn't, like he says, well, I really don't believe your opinion. And then the other side, see, it's two faces. Okay. So it's not one, if you hear from devotees that are getting it, they're getting through, they're really going deep, they're just, you see, it's one idea. Just really sincere and very deep and realized and solid.
Yeah.
The hypocrisy, that's what's in that level. It's like a Pharisee level. They think, but inside they don't really believe, and then they have this other part that falsely, it's just not deep. So you got to go through the purification, basically abandon your opinion. At some point, that's how you enter in. It's like you get a spiritual master and you act like a disciple. Karuna is not acting like Mars Prikshit. You got to be like that. You got to be like Arjuna. You might be in a thing where you're arguing with the guru, maybe at this point. Like he's more at that level, arguing, well, no, it's this way, and you just, I have my own ideas, and see, so he can't relish what I relished, because he thinks it's just my. No, I'm relishing the opinions of Krishna, and that's how you do it. And the only reason I can do that is because of ecstatic worship. It gives that ability. Otherwise, you don't get it. And if you want that, you have to go to a teacher and learn the procedure sincerely. You got to go there with you got to abandon, and be there open and listening. Like, oh yeah, I want to learn this. I also want to do this. Not like, yeah, I'm here, I'm surrendered and all that, but not really surrendered. I really got my own ideas, and yeah. See. So anyway, he has to come to the point of honesty and saying, well, is his opinion getting this result? Well, it is when I take my little and take a puff. Oh, well, that's not it. No, that's false.
Yeah.
No, you got to be clear. You got to be clear. Otherwise, you're fuzzy. You're fuzzy about the whole thing.
Okay. And if you look at what Mayavadi is saying, she empathizes with Krishna, but they're kind of on a similar platform.
Yeah.
In that way. The difference is Karuna's been listening to you for a few years now, and hopefully something's going in. Something is transforming, changing. But yeah, I have followed this path. I've had great examples. You're a great teacher, and it's worked, and it's helping me. It's changing me. And I cannot not glorify this path because of what it's done for me, what I've seen, what it's done for Lalita and Johan and Govinda, how it's transformed us. And, this is the only way, and I will say that. But yeah, thank you, Maharaj. It's worked. Great teacher.
So Mayavadi is replying to Karuna Das. I think I know you. Sorry, or am I wrong? But it is all within. But why should I be in a box? Yeah, okay. See, this is people. This is why, Bhagavad Gita says, after many, many lifetimes, a person will surrender to him. Many, many lives, usually. So that's because they're the way they are. They have faith in their own understanding. And you notice, even the Bible says, lean not unto your own understanding. See? But there's a point. See, that's when you really you got to hear from a real prophet and believe them, and hear from, you're getting purified so that you can lean on your own understanding, because you realize, this is Krishna's understanding. Literally, he gives it. It just download it. Literally out of nowhere. It seems like it's magic. But you got to get purified to have that, and then you check it. To make sure it's not like you got to confirm it. Oh yeah, is this? But usually the way it works I notice in my life is I have the scriptures, and also the word when I'm chanting or when I'm reading. See, I'm not. So in a sense, I almost like I am leaning on my own understanding now, because I know where it's coming from. But you got to get purified to get there, man. You got to hear a long time. Yeah. And you got to be that kind of devotee to preach it, or that kind of devotee to receive it. You got to see, you got to come to the point of like a Maharaj Pariksit, and you this isn't a real authority. This person knows the Lord. Let me listen to him. Let me learn from him sincerely. Otherwise, you're just there challenging. Okay, that might be fine to a point or something, but not when we're going really deep here or something, and then you just come in and you just,
I find that, challenging, it kind of depends really. It can be a block. Having that tight kind of challenging, it can be a block to understanding Krishna's message and really receiving To be able to, like you just said, speak it yourself, be able to speak, because it's so strong, it's so who you are, and you can do that. That is such an inspiration. Having you as an example, having Lalita as an example, Johan as an example, the devotees as examples here in our Sangha is such a driving force to be able to come together with each other here, bring us together. And it is because of what you say, it is because of how you say it. I don't understand with Karuna. He really wants this Maharaj, but he's got such a block. He's got such a block. Things need to come out, like you said earlier. And
it basically comes down still. He holds a different opinion about this. He thinks it's about opinion, like my opinion, his opinion, my opinion. You're just have an opinion, and his opinion is different, and so you can't relish mellows under that. Somehow or other, he has to realize that. Like, let's see, Mayavadi says something here. Why should I be in a box? Well, this gets you out of the box. See, you believe you're not in a box, and that's a problem. You're in a box. You're in a box of speculation. This gets you out of the box. And then you can be like Lalita is not, she's herself. River's herself. And so by following this path, being preached here, it's not going to put you in a box. It's going to take you out of the box. Everything is reflected here. It's an illusion. That's why people speak what they are until they speak what Krishna is. See, that's where we speak life into people. Krishna is life, and the word is in alignment with the Lord's conclusive truths. See, like I just read here, see, yours isn't. There's speculation there, therefore you can't help people very well. These gurus can't help people very well, as far as what I've seen. Until they worship the Lord with loving ecstasy, their opinions will not be, they won't take you out of the box.
Mayavadi's saying, I don't agree with what you say. People have been trying to, in life, people have been trying to push you into a box so they can know who you are. They have an idea of who you are. But this, Maharaj, it frees you from all of those boxes. It frees you from all of the boxes, and it brings you to your real true self, takes away the illusion and brings you to your true self. Now, Mayavadi is, she's very sentimental. Extremely sentimental, and she's a teacher, so she has a wide range of children to deal with, was a teacher, and she has that kind of like love, that sentimental love for all the children, so they can kind of grow and learn.
So what did she, you just read what she said. What'd she say? I didn't see that part.
She says, I'm sorry, I don't agree. I do not agree what you say.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's the whole thing. Like Karuna, I also don't agree. I heard others in our Sangha sometimes say that. Maybe you're not aware of it. And when they preach, I say, well, Gohar is thinking this, but I have another opinion. Arjai had another opinion. And so that's how it is. And they're usually not that happy, because you can't be. And you can't be happy like devotees are, who accept. I'm happy because I'm worshiping Krishna in ecstasy for a long time, and I look at the book and I preach that. I mean, everybody, just logically, you should look for the clearest person you can find to chant the Vedas or preach the Vedas to you. And that clearest person is even ascertained in the book. And that's why I'm putting it out now. To those who worship Krishna with loving ecstasy, and that is pure love of God. Unmotivated, not materially motivated. It is the nature just to love God, that person. If you find that person, you found a Maharaj Pariksit. Two. But you found a Shukadev Goswami, or somebody representing the transcendental potency. It's rare. And that's what's here. And now what is the result of you really attentive hearing and submissive and being open? What you got? You got the treasure. That's all. I'm just here for that.
It's such a lift in my consciousness by hearing this, receiving this mercy. Such a lift in my consciousness. Nothing has done anything like this for me. With all the troubles that we have this has been for me now the safest place to be. You know, even though I get chastised, but I know I deserve it. You know, I know no, not like that, Maharaj, not in a material sense, but I know that you're trying to help me come out of something. You know, I get that. Like you said this morning about, you know, you were talking about Lalita being so, and Kṛṣṇa was upset that you didn't mention me. But I know that you do mention me, and I do get upset. But it's a little silly thing that I have in me, you know, that, you know, it will go, and it will leave, and I'll grow out of it. People just stop growing, Maharaj. Here in the Sangha, I've been able to grow inner growth, you know, and grow and grow and grow. People just stop growing, and they seem to be in that comfort, in that zone. You know, it seems to be a place of comfort, but it's not actually.
Well, this is where real growth is the growth of Krishna in your heart by being watered by real bhakti through the true vines. The true vine is connected to the tree. And there's no other water for this growth. See, that's why it's a different thing. You know, it's a tree of devotion here.
You bring that forth to all of us, you know, who listen, who deeply listen, you know, and with our experiences, we can't say anything else but the truth now, just reality, because you've taken us to that place. You know I have a lot to go through and learn, purify, but you've just taken me to the place that is just boom, attached. That is it. Don't need really other attachments, and I do have them. I realize that as well. But this one, it's great. I was looking forward to. Sorry, Maharaj. Just looking forward to close my eyes, just take out the outside world and just come here, meditate and rest in the Lord, receive the mercy and just rest in that, and just be in that meditation. Everybody wants to meditate, you know, but this meditation we can take with us. You know, it gives us that protection and that shelter, and it gives us that place to be able to be who we are and let go of what we're not, and actually realize the highest truth. By practice and experience, that we know the fine line between the illusion most of the time and the reality, which keeps us, you know, it keeps me in this place where I know that I'm being lifted from inside. Because my outside life, you know, it wasn't so. I mean, it's been good. It's been good, and that's it. You know, but here, the movement inside, you know, on this level of spirit, I'm so happy, Maharaj. I've heard so many people talk about spirit in a way it isn't like that. It's like it is what you teach us, what you have given us. Wow, it's
I mean, this is the testimony. You know, it's just the happiness of this. This was the happiness of Lord Chaitanya. He came to give this to others. The happiness of his devotees. You know, meditating with faith on the absolute truth.
that's it.
You know, and this is what freedom is, and you do this forever. You know, just on the name. Look at Narada Muni just going just on the relishing the name of God. This is it, man. This goes on. It doesn't matter, you know, whatever purification. As long as you know the main Krishna is looking for. Do you have faith in this path, man? Do you have faith in your guru? Do you have faith in real Vaishnavas? Do you have faith in Krishna, the real conception? And if you got that, don't worry about whatever you little things you got. That's, you know, I've been living like that. You know, I just had, you know, Krishna's saying, "Hey, man, don't worry about the other stuff. You know, you'll overcome everything by faith in me, faith in my name, faith in this devotional service, faith in this service to, you know, Prabhupada and the Vaishnava, everything. You know, it's great. I mean, it can be a normal and not so artificially this and artificially that. Listen to hypocrites and people that aren't really Krishna conscious yet. You know,
It's like pastime. It reminds me of the pastime of every year the devotees would go and see Caitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, and to get there were obstacles. They had to negotiate with the toll collector and stuff. But every day we're coming to this Sangha to see you, and we're getting this mercy and grace. That's like the pastime of Caitanya. And you do give us, like Caitanya Mahaprabhu said, I haven't got any resources to do, but just these my transcendental body. You're giving that to us, and you're also actually looking after the phone I'm talking to you all on is the phone that you bought me, and you look after us so nicely, Gurmad. You know, thank you from my heart. Thank you, because I still keep the jar. We say this in fellowship. We keep the door ajar on the world. When I was in active alcoholism, and it was miserable, man. I got nothing to complain about, nothing to moan about, no anxieties, no fears, no woes. The world's falling apart. There's a heating crisis. The cars are going to collapse. Everything's collapsing. But I'm happy than I've ever been, and that's your mercy. You're following the order of Prabhupada. This is the higher taste part 2. This is the progression. You can say what you like. You can all group together, thousands of you in GBCs and Ritviks. You cannot defeat this, and that's in Lila. Chaitanya will never, ever be defeated. Say what you want.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic, man. Yeah. Janaki giving nice testimonies. It's always the words that take you down or take you up or bring you down. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. The word of God, it speaks life. This is life. This is so wonderful. But you can't see, the thing is, you got to get over the speculation to appreciate this. And if you abandon your speculation, you could be happy like the advanced devotees here. If not, you just hold on to you. So as long as you're going to be like that, and just is what it is. You got to struggle with that. But that's how you overcome it. Is ultimately you have to follow in the footsteps of these devotees here that are relishing transcendental mellows, spiritual varieties. And that's not only for Karuna to watch out for or to grapple with. That's all of ISKCON, all of Gaudiya Math and Samiti. If you're speculating and you're not worshiping the Lord with prema, then you need help. You need to get purified. You need to follow the real path. I don't care how big your titles are. I don't care if you're Charya Dave and you have a PhD in school. You got to have this now. This is real knowledge. And as far as what I see, they don't have ecstatic love.
Not this.
I haven't seen that. And they don't, and therefore their realizations show it. Their understanding shows it. Matter of fact, their reaction to our sangha shows that. They would love this if this is such a rare thing. If they really knew what ecstatic devotion was and knew what love of God was and prema and everything, they would absolutely love this gift of Lord Chaitanya and Prabhupada through our sangha here. This mercy is special, man. And if you don't like it, then there's something off. There's something that needs to be purified. Yeah. And that's what we do by being public. It forces this awareness into the public's eye, See the public eye? Otherwise, no, this will just miss a whole nother generation. But look how many people being saved by this bhakti. Proof that that dream was not a pipe dream. It's a piped dream into the world of Krishna, what he wants for people. This will liberate you so easily, man. Janaki says, your words give the absolute truth. Well, you have to hear from a prema bhakta. I repeat that. You have to hear from a prema bhakta. In some lifetime, if you want this kind of deliverance in this line, you must hear from a prema bhakta who has prema bhakti, and that's ecstatic love of God. And that means they're relishing God as God is. You hear from that person, and very easily you get into the kingdom. Otherwise, big troubles, a lot of trouble. How can a guru get you into Vrindavan, where is the kingdom of God in our line, Vrindavan, if they're not in Vrindavan and worshiping in that mood?
Yeah, absolutely.
See? That's for less intelligent people, less intelligent gurus, and less intelligent followers who don't know the real goal of life and have not actualized that in their life, not filled with that goal. That's for those persons who come to Krishna consciousness and think, Oh, yes, I want relief. I want to come to the Lord for relief. I want a job. I want friends, or I want to worship God because these scriptures they're God. They're beautiful. They're nice, but I don't understand them. I don't understand these deeper things. But I'm here because I'm not really clear about the goal. Well, the book is very clear about the goal. All it needs is people to preach what's in the book about the goal. I mean, it's very clear. Life's ultimate goal is love of Krishna. The real spiritual master that'll lead you there it has love of Krishna. To lead you directly into the kingdom. Will give you the real word of the kingdom, the real conception, because they ascertained it by love of Krishna, love of God. Simple. Anyway, preaching is easy for me. I just give the book out and just tell you what's in the book. Wow, that's really refreshing for people really looking. I don't agree with that for those who are not really looking very deeply, right? They're looking for find faults. Oh, Gohari, he's a Sahaja. Oh, Gohari, he's saying something different than Prabhupada. See the fault in that. What? You should see the virtue in that. If I would say something exactly like Prabhupada, you would get Vaidhi Bhakti for another generation. Lalita would still be where she's at. Govinda would be where she's at. River would be where she's at. Joan would be where they're at. If I said what Prabhupada was preaching, Vaidhi Bhakti, you would still be Vaidhi because that's all the best they can give you. And they're not even doing a very good job of that.
Right.
Yeah, materialistic Vaishnavism. Here you got spiritual Vaishnavism. The spirit is here. See, spiritual spirit. You can't deny. People can say, "Well, we're the most popular sahajas on the internet. We're popular because of the spirit."
Yeah.
Yeah, God, man, spirit is so important in this worship now.
Absolutely.
Clear truth. It feels great to believe every word of your guru. Yeah, I mean, see, when your heart is awake, your heart tells you. I mean, if you're listening to somebody and you're going, I don't like it. Well, there's two people can do that. Well, either your heart is really purified, I mean, really polluted, see, or see, there's another thing. Well, that's the only thing. If your heart is really polluted, yeah. If you're listening to a speculator, you'll do that too. See, like if I hear speculation, when I heard speculation, I'm full on disclosure now. I heard speculation from Narayana. I really didn't like it. It really bothered me. I said that wasn't in line with what I'm studying. Certain things he said were not in line. And so, like a lot of things, I don't like speculation. I like what the Lord actually said, not the opposite. When I heard, like he said, how do you know who is a real guru, a real spiritual master? And he said, the renounced person, a person who has renounced all material desires. This hard sannyasi thing of, I thought, no, how about one who delivers love of God, like Lord Chaitanya said? Well, a householder can be a spiritual master, and they might eat and sleep and procreate and all these things. But if they got love of Krishna, you got love of Krishna, man. That's something other. The gopis they were the highest devotees, and they were all married, had babies, and all kinds of stuff. Married, unmarried, it didn't matter. There were the Aborigines who had love of Krishna too, and they didn't follow anything. They were outside, and not part of any varnashram system. But they loved Krishna. They were on the outskirts of they would look at the gopis' footprints. Oh, these gopis, they had the mercy. Oh, they would cry and all these beautiful things. Look at the wives of prostitutes were prostitutes in Dwarka. They loved Krishna. They were having choice glorification in the Bhagavatam from prostitutes. And I have to hear from these sannyasis, real spiritual master has real spiritual master is that prostitute on the. I mean, if you want to know deep stuff, the real spiritual master is somebody who has mastered Krishna. Man, Krishna, they have a heart full of glorification of the Lord, regardless of their position in the Varnashram system or not in there. I mean, Nityananda was not part of the Varnashram system. He was completely outside of it. And Haridas also. They were not in the Varnashram system, outside of it. But they had one thing, love of God, love of Krishna, devotional mellows. They relish mellows. Okay? And these gurus, the ones people that claim to be delivering them, but they're not delivering anybody. Nobody's delivered. Show me one Narayan Raj disciples delivered like Lalita. Just show me one. Come on. You can come up with one. Yeah, you're not hearing me over the internet enough? Is this not enough, challenge for the benefit of the world? The world's going to hell believing people who can't deliver them can deliver them. I'm sorry, you go into a dark place. You need to find somebody who is their word, who can deliver you because they can deliver you. So for the benefit of the world, you Narayan Raj and you ISKCON devotees, you big gurus, show us some big bhakti in you or some of your disciples. For the benefit of you and the world. Am I too angry for no purpose? Am I roaring because I'm an angry guy for no purpose? Or is it for your benefit and benefit of the world? Look at you jumping up and down. Why are you jumping up and down? I'm supposed to be mad. Mad as hell at Maya, man. I'm reached the end of my rope with Maya, man. I'm tired of pretenders. Are you not? Is there anybody out there in ISKCON or Gaudiya Math or Gaudiya Samiti or the world that's tired of following pretenders and are ready to call them out and make them prove that they're the real deal? That they can save your buttocks in this world.
Save mine.
Let's look at Mayavadi's reactions. He says, I do not mind lifetimes, just that I never forget Krishna as my Lord. Even if he handles me roughly, he will still be my worshipable box. Okay. Let's see, the reaction is towards the end. Ooh, we got a lot of reactions here, man. I say nothing. Okay, great. Nice reaction. The Arisen Lion Guru roar. Your roars fire the spirit. Amen. Yes, he is totally right. We are part and parcel of the Supreme Absolute Krishna, so it's important to keep listening in the Sangha. Brings us closer to our ultimate goal of life, which is to establish divine connection. Yeah. So anyway, we got our mission here. This is our little play. People can come to our little play. Just come on board as quick as possible. Oh, you can see me here. Yeah, I can.
She took another account. It's Rade, eh? Anke de facteur is Rade. She took another account.
Anka, yeah, I see you here. I say nothing. Oh, yeah, that sounds like Radhe. I say nothing. So Fanny says, I've only listened for a few minutes and hang already on dear Gohari's lips. I feel so happy. Yeah. These discussions are important. They help people understand what the real path is. If you follow this word, you come and listen here, you won't be disappointed if you really want to know. If you follow it, somehow or other, you catch the instructions, you're able to hear them. Oh, yeah, abandon my opinion. Well, it hasn't done me good before, why not? Just let it go, man.
Absolutely. I agree with that completely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just analyze your experience. Like, do you have to take drugs to be happy? You know, to be faithful, you have to take drugs. There's some, wait a second, man. It shouldn't be. And that's why, when I asked Karuna, like I said, okay, when you're not doing the things, what's going on? What is your real? And see, that's more to better. See, because then now you have to grapple with, okay, maybe start thinking a little bit. And start thinking, well, okay, they're happy and they're following this way. Now, what's in my way? Your way is your ideas that by arithmetic you're going to get the same thing as me. See, you're blinded by speculations. There are a lot of people like this. See, they think their ideas, and that's not what I'm preaching. They're not hearing me yet. You're not hearing the book. See, the book says you cannot relish transcendental varieties by speculation, by mental speculation. See? So if you say you can relish varieties by speculation, see, you're different. Or you're not even thinking that's the point. You don't even know the point. So let me tell you, Karuna and anybody else in our Sangha like that. You cannot relish what Lalita Ganga and River and Govinda and others and Janakis and others. You cannot relish those words of their guru by speculation. Maybe you're thinking that your speculation is as good as the guru and that he's speculating like you are, or you're thinking, no, my word is absolute and his word is absolute. Okay? No, this word is proven to be absolute by the result. Ecstasy, bliss, mellows, prema. Right? Your words, I don't care who you are, what kind of guru you claim to be, do your words produce ecstasy, bliss, satchidananda, manifestation of Shuddha Bhakti in this world? If they don't, give it up. Come here. Get the word that will produce it, because that word is not, I own it now because I own it. I own this word. Literally, I take it on. It's my clothing, is this word. It's my word now. Mine. Krishna's mine. His word is mine. But it's his word. Okay? That's what you'll learn here. You'll get over all your depressions and all that when you understand this point. What do you think Jesus brings? Believe in his word, man. Take you to paradise. It's no different now. You got a living voice in front of you speaking the same thing. This word will take you to paradise. What? It takes me to paradise. I listen to it myself. Hey, well, you should only go to paradise. I'm coming along too. You don't think Krishna's listening to his own song, right? Through a flute. Oh, you don't think the flute is listening too? What is this? Krishna's playing a flute. He loves his flutes are his real devotees. He's playing them. And you don't think the flute is enjoying the song too, being played? Who's playing who, actually? Is the flute playing Krishna, or is Krishna playing the flute? Think about that. It's both. Now that's surrender. That's what you can get. Are you ready for that, Karuna? Or anybody else that speculates? How about you, Madhusudan? You ready for that? Can you top that one? Maybe he is like that. I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a while. He was starting to preach a little bit pretty good lately. I think he should give more classes. I want to check him out. I want to check out his understanding. We all need to check. So you get up there, Madison, give a few classes. I want to see where you're at, where you've learned in 5 years. You're in front of the board of examiners now. We've got we got Govinda, Lalita, and River, and Johan. Whoever else wants to come up before the Board of Examiners, come on. Get up there. Let's see what you've learned in 1 year. Anyone that's been here 1 year or on.
Maharaj, I was speaking to Amy before, and was talking about, like, before, when I used to come on, and when we used to do Harinams before, when you first came in 2018, and actually all the way, so much anxiety. There'd be so much anxiety, but then as soon as I got on your vibration, it would go. But as soon as I was off that, I'd get this anxiety back. But doing classes, even though I still had anxiety, sometimes it would talk me out of the class.
Yeah,
But now,
yeah.
it doesn't talk me out of the class. It's the anxiety has been dissipated. It really, that kind of anxiety has been dissipated, maybe now and again, but nothing like before. Coming on live, showing oneself, being real, it has really helped get rid of those material emotions and things that we
Yeah.
kind of hold on to. And it did, because you did that for me by being able to go on live. You said, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Yeah.
And now I can do that
Yeah,
myself now.
it does everything. It's a kind of an integration.
Yeah.
It gets you integrated. Also, you're glorifying Guru and the Vaishnavas. And Krishna is very happy with that. You feel it. You feel more purified, more released, more integrated,
Absolutely.
connected. Yeah.
Yeah, more transformed,
Yeah.
more situated here, knowing what's real and what is the illusion, and not spending so much time with the illusion, and always being in reality. It's great, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's end it now. I still haven't gotten, well, it's clear now. I'll take a walk now. Hey, thank you all for being with me and my integration. Yeah.
Absolutely, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Let me be with you. Let
Yeah.
me as well be
Yeah.
transcended and transformed. Who
Yeah.
wants to have their own will?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting I got to do this here. And for any of those who want to leave a donation, here is the donation. I'm going to get in the habit of putting that up there. See, why not, man? Give people opportunity. All right, so we'll see you later. Hare Krishna, everybody. Have an awesome day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.